Lesson 2-4, vertical angles. Draw a pair of lines that cross. And then just approximate one of them. It doesn't have to be perfect. And don't pick a hard number. Let's call it 20 degrees. Let's actually give it a different color. So what do you know about this angle here if this is 20 degrees? Most of you have already done this. You would say, oh, these two have to add up to 180. So that's 160 degrees. These two have to add up to 180. So that makes this 160 degrees. These two angles, 160 degrees and 20 degrees, are called a linear pair. That's a pair of angles that add up to 180. Simple enough. And you've already known it. So now that you've looked at that, you can say, oh, well, this worked this way, this worked this way. They both have to work this way. So this one here is going to be 20 degrees. And these angles that are opposite are the same. They're congruent. They have the same measure. We call them vertical angles. And vertical angles are congruent. This pops up everywhere. Everywhere. And it's a very common ACT question to have 3 or 4 of these. And these are nice little quick ones where they'll just throw it on an exam and you quickly write it in the diagram and you move on. But if somebody doesn't know this, they're totally stuck. So you want to make sure you remember this. Vertical angles, the opposite angles, these are vertical and these are vertical, are congruent. That's really about it. It shows up everywhere in geometry. It shows up a lot of other places. If you ever look at a table with that crisscrossing legs, these are vertical angles. You ever look at a pair of scissors, and no, I'm not trying to draw good scissors. These are vertical angles, and of course, these are also vertical angles. So you get a lot of places where it shows up. So that's it. I mean, you're just going to do all these problems based on that. These are vertical angles, so you know they're equal. So you write 4y minus 42 equals 2y, and you solve. Add 42 to both sides. Subtract 2y from both sides. So y equals 21. And you might say, oh, I'm done, I can move on. Well, write in the angles. This is 2y, that's 2 times 21, that would be 42 degrees. This is 4 times 21, that's 84 minus 42. This would also equal 42 degrees. So make sure they work. If this is 42 degrees, what is this? It's a linear pair. These are a linear pair. So that would have to be 180 minus 42. I think 138 degrees. I have trouble doing that in my head. Yeah, that works. This would have to be 138 degrees. So always check that they make sense. In this case, they do. That is it. Quick lesson. Probably could have done it before we quizzed, but it's a good follow-up after you quiz to make sure you understand supplementary because linear pairs add up to 180, congruent because vertical angles are congruent, and then there's a little bit of algebra thrown in there too. Go to it. Good luck.